I didn't want to make any more videos making fun of this show, but they make it so easy.
I absolutely love it. It's just one long piece.
One piece.
This is the only show on international streaming services where you can watch fully grown men wearing suits unironically use the word boom.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Okay, so episode 3 starts with Brett, and shocker, he's driving somewhere.
We have meals on Sunday.
Oh, you eat together?
Yeah.
I don't eat on Sundays. I just have too much anxiety.
What? What is this RPG dialogue tree we've stumbled our way into, gentlemen? Okay, fellas, we're just doing some establishing coverage here for the opening of the episode. We just need some natural sibling banter between I like to eat food, but not on Sundays. Ah, God fucking damn it, cut. Yeah, no, I don't know, Mr. Bezos. They just keep talking about breakfast cereals. Okay, anyways, here's the lore for this scene. Brett, who is one of our main characters here, is a realtor. He's also involved with the Conservative Party of Canada, which on its own, I don't give a shit about. But you have to admit, that is very funny. Okay, now this is Scott. He's Brett's younger brother. And Brett's like mentoring him in the way of selling houses. He's kind of like a Jedi, I guess, except instead of the Force, it's Botox and economic collapse of Western society.
After doing all different marketing jobs, event planning jobs, internships, got the call from Brett and he told me, Scotty, you've been training for this your whole life. It's time to join the family business.
I actually really like Scotty. He's got this kind of like nervous energy that I really identify with. Okay, so Scott and Brett are on their way to Rosedale.
So tell me about this potential Rosedale listing.
Which is a neighborhood in Toronto, and I'm sure if you're from Toronto, after hearing that sentence, you are rolling your eyes right now.
For a realtor in Toronto, Rosedale is the big leagues. Nothing says old money in Toronto like Rosedale.
What he means to say is that Rosedale is by far and away the place where the absolute worst people in Toronto live.
And the average house price here is about $6 to $7 million.
Most homeowners in Rosedale would fucking hunt people for sport if it was legal. And Brett's just over here fawning over them. Please give me money, billionaire grocer oligarchs. I left a note for myself in the script. Try to be nicer in this episode. But I keep coming back to the fact nobody can afford houses anymore, and these goobers are over here on Amazon being like, business is good. It's never been better to be a realtor.
Business is good, but there's now almost 80,000 agents in this city, and we're all scrapping it out for a piece of that pie.
Like, fuck off. Okay, so Scott and Brett pull up to the house, get out of the car, and then for some reason, they do that entire thing over again. We've already seen this shot. Please pick something else to show. Just look at how Scott is absolutely jawing the fuck out of the camera right now. Holy geez, Scott, calm down. You trying to pick a hockey fight with me? Scotty's hitting me with the Principal Skinner meme 3 minutes into this show, goddamn.
Scott's relatively new to the real estate game. He's hungry, he's eager for success, but it might take a little bit of guidance from someone like his big brother.
Holy shit. That is a sinister looking shot right there. Goddamn. Brett's just over here like, big dog, you can't be doing the Palpatine while monologuing about housing in Canada and part of the Conservative Party. Somehow the optics for every party involved in that suffers.
What neighborhood are we in?
We're in Rosedale, man.
You know how you know? M4W.
Yeah.
That's the Rosedale postal code.
I love the idea that Brett can only really tell his current location based on what the postal code is. Curse you, Google Maps. What the fuck is Edo by Coke? Oh, M8V. We're in Etobicoke. All right.
Boom.
I'm gonna be the hard buyer.
Ugh, Brett. No, don't do that. That's really gross.
I don't understand why there's an Art Deco railing with a modern LED chandelier.
Oh, you meant something different from the way it sounded initially. Okay, all right, big dog. So they tour the house and like, it's fine, I guess. Scotty has like an absolutely phenomenal power stance. Dear God, look at that girth. Just establishing dominance over the scene. He also leans so far back when he's walking that like, I think he just kind of forgot how to walk while on camera. I don't really blame him though. You know, like when you start thinking about how you need to smile instead of doing it naturally, and then you're like, oh shit, am I smiling okay? And you just end up looking like a Batman villain or something. But by far and away, the best part of this scene is where Brett is monologuing about how they're gonna have to work harder than ever before to sell this house.
The higher the price tag is on a potential listing, the harder TSG is going to have to work.
And then, I shit you not, it hard cuts to them playing pool. Outstanding work ethic, gentlemen. Truly just a bastion of the everyday blue-collar man.
You know, this is a kitchen I can get excited about. Yeah, is that Thermador? That's Thermador. Do you have some sort of weird Thermador fact?
You know, they invented like the star burner.
That's one thing to say. You know what I would say? Kitchens that have Thermador appliances are for people who actually cook.
Oh, my mistake. I wasn't aware that my lower class kitchen wasn't actually fucking cooking anything when I used it. You know, it's like Chef Gusteau said in the movie, if you don't have a Thermador, get the fuck out of my kitchen. I thought Scotty's fact was pretty cool, not gonna lie. Thermador, which sounds like a quasi-legendary Pokemon or a Roman gladiator, they made the first star burner. Cool. Don't know really what that means. I'm not Babish, but yeah, that's awesome. Way to go. But then Brett's over here and he's like, oh man, if you don't have a $30,000 stove, you're a fucking loser, and you don't even taste the potential that food could actually have.
Kitchens that have Thermador appliances are for people who actually cook. They take food serious. They love the idea of it. So this gives them the idea that they can be a chef.
Brett, you gotta go work in a kitchen or something, because I'll tell you right now, the idea that people can be professional chefs isn't foundationally built on a stovetop. It's cocaine. Enormous amounts of cocaine.
Okay, now that we've seen it, what do you think it's worth?
12.5 million to 13 million. Like, that's what I would say.
12.5 to 13, I think is perfect.
Okay.
Wait, how? Not once has anybody in this show mentioned comps or what the houses around the corner are selling for. They just manifest numbers out of imagination land. Oh, hey, how much do you think this house is worth? Oh, geez, well, big dog, you know, since we both earn commission and the higher the house sells for, the more money we make. $16 bajillion. That's not even a real number, but I'm sure the Canadian government is doing everything possible to make sure that houses are in fact reaching $16 bajillion in the next 5 years. God forbid anybody outside of like Gander, Newfoundland is able to afford a house. Scotty starts monologuing here, and I gotta say, it's shocking how much it reminds me of every single drunken cab ride home where your friend starts opening up to the driver.
Like, I'm confident that I can say that. What I've learned today is, like, you know, it's one thing to be the person that knows these things, but then sharing that information in a way that you're not gonna be, you know, just rambling on and on and on. Rambling on and on and on.
Boom. Boom.
Boom. Scene transition. Holy jeez, look at that. So many After Effects transitions. Whoa! Nobody who ever seriously watches this show is allowed to complain about Zoomers on TikTok needing videos with other videos embedded inside of it. Clearly, the older generation's attention span is just as broken. Now, in a shocking departure from the formula that this show is so dependent on, instead of calling somebody while Peter is driving there to let them know why he's driving there, he calls somebody while walking there.
Hi, babes.
Hey, babe. Are you close by?
I am close by. I just had espresso down the street, and I'm coming by to the office. What's going on?
The absolute masters of narrative exposition. Okay, so Peter's heading into the office, and I'm pretty sure this isn't downtown. One, downtown Toronto is never this empty, especially during the middle of the day, since that's when everybody on fentanyl decides to do some sightseeing. I feel compelled to say that addiction isn't a laughing matter, but if you've been to Toronto, I'm pretty sure you understand. Two, this is obviously North York. Peter's wife Paige is calling him here to let him know that 3 episodes in, we actually have a house that's sold.
Well,
Yeah.
I have good news.
Tell me. I love good news.
It's official. The Aquabella offer is accepted.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations to the team. It was a gorgeous suite.
Okay, so like quickly doing the math here, we're 3 episodes in, 2.5 episodes in. So by the end of the season, we will have 2 4/5 of a house sold in a show where apparently these people are the best realtors in the country. I'm just saying, if I was watching Fear Factor and Joe Rogan hasn't made anybody eat some horse testicles by like episode 4, well, I'm probably not going to finish this joke for employment purposes.
Cheers, ladies. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Anyways, Peter shows up to the office in his best midday drip, and everyone's getting their day drunk on because they sold the house. Allegedly. He's all like, hey, everybody, great job finding someone to buy that Minecraft-looking house. I made that joke in the last episode. Shame you couldn't do it on camera, too, because then it would be a lot more believable and cinematic. Oh, by the way, how is my daughter, who is an intern at this company, doing?
Alex, how's my daughter Rosanna doing with the open house?
Somehow Peter has hired like the distilled essence of what a millennial is to work at his office. Like, game recognizes game. Look at that hat. It just screams craft beer on a Saturday with my fur baby. Oh, I belong to House Ravenclaw. with some more millennial jokes. Wish I could afford a house. And I shit you not, in the most 90s kid answer possible, she responds to Peter's question by telling him his daughter has good vibes.
I think she's an absolute perfect fit, honestly, not only for the open house, but for the whole office. Her vibe, I think, is something we can all connect with, and she's gonna make it nice, this open house. It's
Just because
be
she's my daughter, I don't want you guys to be easy on her.
No, absolutely not.
So yeah, not a whole lot to take away from this scene other than Peter's daughter. Can't really remember her name right now.
My daughter, Rosanna.
She's interning at the company, and for this house they're trying to sell, they're going to throw an open house.
I want her to learn the ropes from the start.
She has to pay her dues.
She has to pay her dues, like all of us.
Sure. I still maintain that I actually really like Peter and Paige. I think they could actually carry a show that's a little more down to earth than this. Maybe something more provincial on HGTV. Also, Peter doesn't fucking monologue about how hard he works every 20 seconds. God damn it. I know that they got into some hot water a while back for like allegedly making fun of people who can't actually afford to buy houses. Which, come to think of it, is like 95% of Canadians these days. But like after seeing how they interact with their team and the crew here, I think it was just more of like a certified boomer moment that got misinterpreted by the news media. Still not great optics to make fun of people who can't afford houses, though. That's my job. I mean, like, compared to Brett, I could watch them all day because he's over there on his YouTube channel misunderstanding who the antagonist is in The Wolf of Wall Street.
You ladies will now be targeting the top 1% of Toronto real estate buyers. I'm talking about Chinese investors, trust fund bar stars, Saudi princes, and freshly divorced CEOs.
Fun fact, but there was a big realty investor conference back in May in Toronto, and the keynote speaker was Jordan Belfort, the main guy from that movie, who is famous, quite literally, only for scamming people out of their money and then going to jail for it. And Canadian housing investors and realtors were like, oh geez, what a paragon of insider knowledge. I sure would love to learn how to be able to do that and bring it into my own business. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Peter and Brett had anything to do with this conference. I just thought it would be fun to point out. Like, this is where we're at with real estate in Canada, where we're building our biggest sector of the GDP off of the financial morality of this fucking guy. Okay, back to the video here. Peter does have a quick cutaway at the end of this scene where he talks about how, oh geez, Peter and Paige's open houses are more than an open house. They're an event.
A Team Twerking open house, it's not just any open house. It's an event.
I love that they're taking the I'm 16 and my parents are out of town for the weekend approach to selling a house. I was thinking for like Saturday, we could have all my friends come over and we could stay up late and we could watch scary movie. What? No, just hang around for 2 hours, and if people ask, tell them that the garden is south facing. That is quite literally all you have to do. I feel like I need to stick up for the average realtor here because they're not all like this. They're probably sitting there already very conscious about how perverted the housing market is. And then Amazon, one of the biggest oligopolies in the entire world, puts out this banger of negative PR. And they're just like,
We're really impressed with the builder. This house is almost $10 million. And I know if we...
all right, let's keep it moving. We're back to Brett.
There's something meditative about sitting in traffic. It makes me want to fucking lose my mind.
Ah, geez, big dog. Imagine watching a show where we just watch people sit in traffic all day. Wouldn't that be boring? Okay, so we get another guided tour of a house, this time by Caitlin. And I gotta say, out of everybody in this entire show, I legitimately think Caitlin is the best at this.
Look at the dining room. Everything in here is like, it's an art piece. Venetian plaster on the walls. This stove, $50,000 imported from Italy.
Because at no point during this entire showcase do we cut away to her monologuing about how hard she works.
I don't believe in handouts.
Or how much of a leader she is.
I took that opportunity and I ran with it.
There's no terrible jokes about luxury during the middle of an affordability crisis.
In the last 10 years, the Toronto real estate market has been out of control. Now, this is a kitchen I can get excited about.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, though. Brett still does take the time to cut in and absolutely murder the vibes.
So this home is designed by Montana LaBelle.
Montana LaBelle, like the woman that I follow on Instagram?
I swear, there's not one girl you don't follow on Instagram.
Ew. Why would you admit to that? That's not the humble brag you think it is. So like the show keeps trying to build up Brett to be some sort of ultimate ladies' man. They keep talking about it over and over and over.
People talk and say that, you know, you've been around like Toronto. I don't know. You date a lot of women, so.
And like, hey, he very well might be. He's a handsome gentleman. I'm not going to take anything away from him. But like they talk about it so much that even I recognize it's coming across desperate. And I sang Wonderwall to a girl in grade 9 homeroom. Anyways, at the end of this scene, go figure, Brett gets a phone call.
Tay's calling. What's going on?
I was just calling because I see that you have an RSVP to the Chorkin open house. I just wanted to see if we were going to that or not.
God damn it, Amazon. Could you not use any other vehicle of narrative exposition, please? I'm begging you. You know what? I'm just going to start making my YouTube videos entirely pre-recorded voicemails that I leave to my wife. How was Azula bending lightning during the Agni Kai if it takes emotional stability to bend lightning?
Me and Ariana are raving about the Drake concert right now.
Next week, right?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Oh, dear God, Peter. Do not let your daughter go to the Drake concert. Oh, my God. So they pull up to the open house, and there's only like 15 people there, half of which are realtors that work for Peter. Aw, that's kind of sad. I'm kind of getting like, oh, nobody came to my birthday party except for people who were forced to vibes from this scene. But then Brett shows up, and I started to feel like I was getting gaslit about what the purpose of an open house is, since we have like 6 realtors per actual person there, and fucking nobody's trying to sell the house.
Go take a picture with him.
I take a picture from him?
Go, no. I mean, do a little muscle.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, pop another bottle. Yeah. Yeah. We about to celebrate.
Not a single person is like, hey, you want to go look at some countertops? They're all just standing around vibing.
Toronto is the world's most competitive real estate market.
Is it though? Is it? Because you guys are all just like not doing anything right now. You're eating pizza and drinking champagne. That's not exactly the personification of competition. This isn't the Squid Games is what I'm saying. Nah, I'm being a little bit duplicitous here because Peter and Paige do end up showing the house to Brett.
Let me give you the tour before you put your foot in your mouth. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you later.
The owners of the house show up too. I'm not gonna dox them because it is on Amazon, so I guess I could. But even though they clearly want the attention, they are property developers.
With the wet bar and the kitchen.
It's a $200,000 gym and spa area on that side. Is a $350,000 theater. That's a Rolls-Royce ceiling, my man. Like the car.
Now look, it's definitely too expensive to get houses built in Canada. For sure. But I do get a little bit suspicious about people telling me it costs too much money to do things when they have custom Rolls-Royce ceilings in their home theater. Like the car.
Like the car.
Okay, so the tour ends, and then this is one of my favorite bits I've seen in the entire show so far. Brett just starts hating on the suburbs, but he runs out of reasons to hate the suburbs very quickly.
Cutting grass, traffic, mozzarella sticks. Like
what? Mozzarella sticks? That doesn't. Is that like a meme? Is that something I should know? I'll look it up. I'll look it up here. Mozzarella sticks in the suburbs. No, even Google's like, why are you searching this? Brett, did you have a traumatic experience with mozzarella sticks at someone's house in the suburbs? I feel like we're reaching. Boom. Cut to later in the evening, and guess what? Oh my God. Fuck me. Brett gets a phone call.
Hello.
Hey, sorry to bother you. I just got off the phone with the sellers in Rosedale. Sounds like Scott put a sign on their lawn before they actually signed the listing agreement, and they were pissed.
Okay, 1 second. Scott put the fucking sign on the lawn?
It's so stupid. Like, is this some cardinal sin about being a realtor? I get it. It is scummy for sure. I also don't think it's real because this is Luxe Listings Toronto. Can we see the houses actually get sold? No, that happens off camera. Can we see Scotty at least putting the sign on the lawn? No, you idiot. That has to happen off camera.
How the fuck does that even happen?
Not a lot of moving parts there, big dog. He took the sign and he put it on the lawn.
And I don't like looking stupid.
And that's the end of the episode. Oh, big dramatic ending. But like, come on. You didn't think I'd leave you on a cliffhanger. No, I actually went through and I watched the entirety of the next episode. And boy, let me tell you, it wasn't worth it.
There we are.
You're supposed to look people in the eyes, Scott.
Oh.
I messed up something, like one of the possible listings that we're gonna have, like jumped the gun a little bit.
Scotty, we've all made mistakes. The lesson's been learned.
Yeah, holy shit. Was that anticlimactic or what? God damn. I did get to see this nifty part of Brett not being able to stay within the yellow lines when he drives. And I gotta say, if you've been to Toronto, this might be the most honest depiction of the city in the show so far.
You can do things the easy way, or you can do things the really easy way, and we didn't choose either one
of those
That's
things.
right.
All right, so we're good?
Yeah.
We're good.
Ah, just a fucking beautiful quote right there, man. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's the end of it. I don't have it in me to do any more episodes on this show. I do like doing reality TV though. Yeah, I was trying to put my finger on why like this show seems so perverted. And there was a nifty column in the Toronto Star about how these days to the average Canadian, every single house feels like a luxury house because nobody can afford it. I thought that was really nifty. I'll link the article in the description here. You can read it if you want. I know I made fun of Brett for being a conservative. I don't really give a shit though. I would make fun of him for being in politics if he was on Team Red or Team Green or orange, purple too, I guess. We got those guys now. So like, yeah, just don't read too much into it. It's all jokes. Okay. Fuckity bye.